On Friday's show, J.H. Hagios asked, do you practice in your sleep the liking this video, subscribing to our YouTube channel at night, or just with your morning coffee? It's cold brew time. Well, fun fact, I'm only able to perform the engagement spiel at maximum speed when I reach peak caffeine saturation. Otherwise, I speak like I left the parking brake on, you know? And cold brew on these chilly fall mornings, you maniac. But enough palaver, it's time for Crypto Espresso, your teeny tiny daily shot of caffeinated crypto headlines. I'm your host, Andrew, and let me take a look at how many news stories we have today. Oh my god! First up, and I'm gonna have to pace myself here, big news to kick off with. Kim Kardashian has been charged with unlawfully touting a crypto security and has reached a settlement with the SEC. The reality star, among other things, will pay $1.26 million in penalties and is banned from promoting cryptocurrencies on social media for 3 years. All of this relates to Ethereum Max, an altcoin that Kardashian had endorsed on Instagram. The SEC claims she failed to disclose that she was paid $250,000 for this promotion. Kardashian's lawyer says she is pleased to have resolved this matter. A statement added, the agreement she reached with the SEC allows her to do that so she can move forward with her many different business pursuits. Can you hear that? That's me rolling my eyes as loudly as I possibly can. It's the start of a brand new month, but according to some crypto analysts, Bitcoiners shouldn't be feeling too confident. Il Capo of Crypto says Bitcoin's current yearly chart looks eerily similar to 2018. 4 years ago, Bitcoin fell sharply from $20,000, but had managed to stay above $6,000. When traders thought the bottom was in, it fell by another 50%. Fast forward to now, and Bitcoin has fallen sharply from a nice $69,000, but has managed to stay above $17,000 so far. Warning of what could lie ahead, Il Capo of Crypto tweeted, new lows are likely this year. In other developments, the British pound rallied on Monday after the government performed a humiliating U-turn on controversial proposals in its mini budget. Alex Mashinsky withdrew $10 million from Celsius Network weeks before the crypto lender suddenly froze customer accounts, according to the Financial Times. The founder of said bankrupt crypto lender, who stepped down as CEO last week following pressure from creditors, is facing questions over whether he knew Celsius was in trouble at the time of that transaction. His spokesperson told the newspaper that the funds were used to pay taxes and he still has $44 million locked up in the platform. It's claimed that Mashinsky could be forced to return this money. Under American laws, payments by a company in the 90 days ahead of a bankruptcy can be clawed back to benefit creditors. Celsius's proposals to open withdrawals for certain customers have attracted staunch resistance from the U.S. Department of Justice. It wants to distribute an estimated $225 million to 63,000 users who had custody, program, and withhold accounts. But U.S. trustee William Harrington has argued this move is premature, as it's still unclear how much crypto is held by the bankrupt company. He went on to warn that allowing these withdrawals now could inadvertently impact or limit distributions to other creditors in this case. El Salvador's president has defended his decision to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. He claims the world's most powerful elites are pushing him to perform a U-turn and lambasted the media for publishing nonsense. Addressing critics directly, Nayib Bukele encouraged them to visit El Salvador, writing, "My message to you is this: stop drinking the elite's Kool-Aid and take a look at the facts." Bukele went on to predict that other countries will follow in El Salvador's footsteps if his policy succeeds, and that he refuses to fail because this means other nations won't adopt Bitcoin. He finished by asking, you know this very well, and that's why they are fighting us so hard. Will you play their game, or will you become aware of the real game? Boy, it's sure been a weekend for Coinbase and Solana. The exchange has apologized after American users were unable to make deposits or withdrawals from their bank accounts for several hours. It took about 3 hours for automated clearinghouse, ACH transfers, to get back online. Meanwhile, Solana has suffered its 4th major outage so far this year. A misconfigured node was blamed for the downtime, which meant the network was unable to process transactions as normal. This is yet another blow to the credibility of the network that has been described as an Ethereum killer. Last month, Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko admitted such outages have been the blockchain's curse. Web3 could be a key issue for voters in swing states during the midterm elections in the US next month, according to Hahn Ventures. Likely voters in 4 key states, Nevada, New Hampshire, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, were polled for this research. One especially attention-grabbing statistic is this: 18% of all voters in these swing states currently hold crypto of some kind, and 5% own non-fungible tokens. To put that number into perspective, there are now far more people in each of these swing states that hold digital assets than a union membership. the authors said. Overall, 55% said they would be less likely to vote for candidates who are against rules and regulations that foster the development of Web3. And finally, during the first ever Miami Grand Prix in May, it wasn't just a fake marina that captured the attention of viewers at home. Seemingly on every turn and on every billboard around the track, Crypto.com's logo was emblazoned for all to see. The Singapore Grand Prix, held over the weekend, was a much more muted affair. Crypto.com wasn't allowed to advertise around the track or launch campaigns near the venue. Instead, any sight of its logo was limited to the sports cars and the uniforms worn by the drivers. But marketing experts say this isn't a bear market issue and that it's actually pretty normal. For example, some territories clamp down on alcohol and tobacco promotions, and that's why you see Marlboro branding in some races, but not in others. And speaking of tobacco, after reading all that news, I feel like I smoked 20 packs of cigs. I hope I'll recover by tomorrow. Oh, the caffeine is kicking in. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on that little bell icon to get buzzed whenever a new Crypto Espresso video goes live. And what about you, dear viewer? If a local political candidate wanted to regulate the growth of Web3, would you vote for them? Quit talking to your computer screen and type it out in those comments because I read them and I will shout out my favorites in the next episode. You want to learn more about our headlines or crypto in general? Ask Alex in the description below. Alex is a great resource for all things Web3 and the metaverse, and this is undoubtedly the longest Crypto Espresso we've ever done. I'm gonna go need to drink some honey ginger tea and nurse my vocal cords back to health for tomorrow's episode. Again, I've been your host, Andrew. These have been your headlines, and we'll see you all tomorrow.